Rochero. I'm Andean bear researcher from Peru, and I'm part of San Diego Zoo Wildlife Alliance Peru. I'm honored to receive the IBA Experience and Exchange Grant, which will support the expansion of a non-invasive methodology for monitoring Andean bear populations and their habitat quality by describing body size and body conditions in different landscapes in Peru and in Ecuador. This non-invasive methodology was developed as part of my master thesis at USFQ in Ecuador, where I describe morphometric variables using images from camera traps. So this methodology provides a feasible and scalable approach to evaluate and monitoring Andean bear populations. This grant will support the work side by side with Rodrigo Cisneros in Ecuador, where we are looking to replicate this non-invasive methodology. So this experience will be multifaceted with training sessions, field work, data collections, data analysis. The main goal is to promote this methodology as a practical tool, improving our understanding of Andean bear populations. This exchange will strengthen international collaborations within Andean bear researchers and will contribute with strong information to management strategies across its range. Thank you so much.
Namaskar. I am Nishit Dharaya, a co-founder of WCB Research Foundation and co-chair of IUCN Sloth Bear Expert Team. I am working with IBA since last 4-5 years, and I am receiving the Experience and Exchange Grant from IBA, and we are using this grant to organize WCB IBA bear conservation training in India. Through this training, we are giving training to the researchers, young research professionals or conservation professionals who would like to do their research on different species of bears in India, especially sloth bear, Asiatic black bear, sun bear, and brown bear. And we are also doing this training for the frontline forest field staff to build their capacity for the monitoring and patrolling for the bears. This training we are organizing since last 7-8 years, but since last 4 years IBA have joined with this training in a partnership with WCB Research Foundation. So till today we have trained more than 300 conservation professionals from India, and this time we are using the IBA Experience and Exchange Grant to organize the same training in Maharashtra, where the area called Navegaon Nagzira Tiger Reserve. So 25 local field staff from Navegaon Tiger Reserve and 25 research professional from different states of India, and one participant we have received this time from Sri Lanka. So all these participants will undergo a training for conservation and research through classroom and field sessions. Under the field session, we are explaining them different contemporary techniques for monitoring and research on bears. We are also conducting one session about IBA, how IBA help the research and conservation of different bear species, and how the young professionals can get benefit of the International Bear Association. One session we are also having for the how to write the research proposal and how to raise the funds for the bear conservation and the opportunities of different ideas about the bear research. So this time the training went very good. We have more than 40 participants, both researchers and forest field staff, and they have undergone the training for 5 days. And during this training, they have developed the research proposal, and now they will submit the proposal to different funding agency. So this experience and exchange grant from IBA is helping a lot for the bear conservation in India, as India is holding 50% of the bear species of the world. So it is very important in India to conserve the bear habitat, and to do active research on different bear species. So this is the way IBA is helping us to raise the awareness about the bears, raise the research on the bears and enhance the capacity of bear researchers as well as forest field staff in the bear. I look forward for the similar support from the resource person, from IBA, and from the other organization, so we can conduct the same training for the next years. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Anna Yue Yu, and I'm a PhD researcher from the University of Michigan. So I work in the Xinjiang region on the Tibetan Plateau, and in recent years, the Tibetan brown bear populations there appear to be expanding across the region. Well, this is a great news for conservation. It also means that the local herders living there, they're now encountering with the bears more frequently and also in ways that are either novel to them or a lot more intense than what they have experienced or expected before. And so, for example, the bears, they're now intruding into herders' residence, damaging their property, and sometimes can attack people directly. What's really special about this landscape is because of the influence from Tibetan Buddhism, local herders they hold really deep cultural ties to the landscape and also spiritual connections to the wildlife. But despite all of that, they're still lacking the capacity to cope with these bear risks. And in this way, it creates new tension between conservation goals and local livelihood. So for my research, I'm trying to focus on this community dimension, and I'm conducting over 400 household surveys to examine how the local risk perceptions of bears, the differential vulnerability to human-bear conflicts, and also social cultural norms together influence herders' preferences for different conflict mitigation strategies. And by listening very carefully to these local voices, I hope my research project can help the practitioners and policymakers in Xinjiang to develop a more nuanced understanding of the herder-bear relationship and design those mitigation strategies that are more targeted and locally grounded and culturally sensitive. Ultimately, I really hope my research project can create more beneficial outcomes for both herders and the bears and to enable the long-term sustainable coexistence between the two in this very unique cultural landscape. With that being said, I am really grateful for the generous support from IBA Grant, and this enabled me to conduct my extended field work to finish on my survey, and I will be reporting those results back to share with the community.
Hello everyone, my name is Akshay. I'm a conservation biologist from Karnataka, India, and I also work across the dry deciduous landscape of northern part of Karnataka. A region shaped by rugged hills, scattered forest managements, and agricultural mosaics, and centuries of human history etched into stones. This landscape supports a remarkable diversity of life, including endangered and endemic species, that depends on these ecosystems. Among them is one of India's most distinctive and ecologically important mammal, the sloth bear. Adapted to dry deciduous forest and rocky terrains, the sloth bear plays a crucial role in ecosystem processes, yet persists in landscape increasingly shared with people. Across the world, wildlife conservation has expanded beyond protected areas. As biodiversity loss accelerates, human wildlife conflict intensifies. Protected areas are no longer unique island, they are the testing ground for the coexistence. Over the past 2 decades, the region has experienced repeated and often human sloth bear interaction, resulting in several injuries, crop loss, and human deaths, followed by the retaliatory killing of sloth bears. As habitat fragmentation intensifies, sloth bear increasingly navigate to human dominated spaces, transforming once forest centered movements into high risk interaction zones. This project brings scientific clarity to that pattern through field surveys, community interaction, and advanced spatial modeling, using habitat suitability and space time zone hotspot analysis by integrating ecological data with the local knowledge. The IBA Research and Conservation Grant makes it possible to translate science into measurable outcomes. I thank International Bear Association and donors who support transform research into practical conservation impact. Thank you donors for making this work possible.
Pakistan's mountain ecosystem harbor vulnerable Asiatic black bear, a species increasingly threatened by habitat loss and human-wildlife conflict. This project strengthens bear conservation by enhancing capacity of frontline staff in Machara National Park through specialized training in ecology, monitoring, and conflict mitigation. By developing standardized tools and protocols, it establishes a scalable, evidence based model for effective bear management across the country. The IBA grant provided critical support to initiate this pilot project, enabling the development of tailored training material, field tools, and standardized monitoring protocols. This assistance helped build the foundation for a sustainable and replicable approach to Asiatic black bear conservation in Pakistan. Thank you, IBA.
Hello. Andean bears and people are increasing their interaction in South America, sometimes resulting in conflicts. Despite ongoing efforts to improve the manage and improve the information about those situations, this is very limited, which restricts our ability to manage and promote coexistence. My PhD thesis or project focused on understanding and improve the information about human Andean bear interaction in South America, following three main phases. The first phase was the assessment phase, when we conducted a literature review in English and Spanish, and we found that information across the range distribution was very heterogeneous and with a lot of gaps, limiting our understanding. The second phase, which is the planning, we found that one of the best strategies to improve this quality of data was through the creation of a guidelines to local stakeholders and wildlife managers. The third phase, which is the planning, we co-created these guidelines last year in Colombia with the participation of 10 Andean bear specialists. And we plan also to disseminate these guidelines, to present it, and also to see how these adapt and support other initiatives across the distribution range of the species. Thanks to the IBA grants, we are increasing our impact of these guidelines, hosting an international event this year in Cusco, when we expect the participation of around 100 stakeholders, and they will receive training how to improve their data quality. Also, they share their experience about how they collect and how they manage these situations, and also they will increase their networking. Thank you so much, donors, for this opportunity. See you soon.
Hi, I am Nisha from India. I am very happy to receiving the IBA Research and Conservation Grant this year. My project focused on the habitat restoration and community awareness program in a sloth bear landscape of Gujarat. With the help of this grant, we will restore a fragmented forest area through native fruiting trees plantation, which are help very important for the sloth bear. Uh, Simultaneously, we are also conducting the community awareness program in the sloth bear landscape to aware local people about the sloth bear and proper waste management and safer farming practices to reduce the bear movement into the village area. So this both conservation efforts will help to improve the habitat quality and reduce the human bear conflict into the area. So I'm very thankful to the IBA for this support to toward the sloth bear conservation efforts. Thank you.
Namaste, I am Sarthak Chaudhary, a project leader at the WCB Research Foundation. My research work focuses on the denning ecology of the sloth bear in the Gujarat, and my primary objective of this research is to understand the denning ecology of the sloth bear in the protected and human disturbed area of the North Gujarat. And in the North Gujarat area, there is a mountain range called Aravalli Mountain Range, which is one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world, and this kind of study is the first in the Western India. And I am the member of IBA since 2023, and I have applied for the research and conservation grant during this cycle, and I was lucky enough to be awarded with the research and conservation grant. So I am very much grateful to the IBA for financially supporting this work. Thank you.